Heather.
Hi, Dan.
How you doing?
Very good. Bit tired.
We have just celebrated Midsummer.
We have. And actually today is the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere, shortest day on the Southern Hemisphere. From now on, the days just get shorter and shorter. It's quite depressing.
It has to be said, though, on Midsummer's evening, it got very dark, considering the whole point is that it's Midsummer.
But then here down south, we get, about 4 hours of night, which is not really night. Sun sets at about 11 and then comes up again at, 3 something? So.
But it doesn't normally get as dark as it did on Friday night.
No, but it was raining, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Not on Midsummer's Eve.
We had lots of clouds.
Okay.
Where we were.
Okay. Well, where were you? What did you get up to for Midsummer?
On Thursday, we took the boat and we went to Pelinki, and we arrived way too late and there was nowhere to tie the boat up because everybody else had beat us there, which is the perennial problem in summer with a boat, that you have to be there early and on time, otherwise you don't get a spot. The harbour is next to a locals bar, so eventually some of the people that were out drinking for their Midsummer Eve happening, they went home and then we took their spot. So we were fine, which was very good because the next morning the market, which was supposed to start at 9, people were already queuing at 8:30. So I jumped in the queue at 8:30 and stood there for half an hour listening to people complaining about the queue.
Well, we got used to queuing for the previous episode, didn't we?
We did, yes.
So you're a seasoned queuer by now.
Indeed. So that was the beginning, and then we headed to the cottage, and then Alex and friends turned up, and then we left them to the cottage and slept on the boat. And on Midsummer Day, we went to the local Midsummer party, which was singing, lots of singing in Swedish. At least this year I could read the words and kind of understand what was being said and sort of mumble along. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Mumbling along is always good. That's what I do every time I get dragged to church for any reason. I mumble along.
Yes. And lots of grilled food. So, yeah, that was my weekend. How about you?
Quiet family barbecue. My wife's family came over, some members of her family, and we just sat on the balcony and relaxed and bought one of those sort of bargain $9.90 sausage packs from the K-Market.
Okay. How many sausages is in a bargain $9.90 sausage pack?
There's 1.5 kilos.
That's a heap of sausages.
But they're proper sausages as well, not the nonsense, silly, fat things that don't cook properly and don't have much meat in them. These are proper sausages.
Good stuff.
So, no, it was nice. It was relaxed. It was the way I want my Midsummer to be. Sat in a chair, plenty of wine flowing and barbecue going next to me and being the man of the house with the barbecue.
Okay, very good. Although I will say there is a downside to all this lovely weather, and that there were a lot of drownings this year, more than last year for sure.
Oh dear, that means my wife's won the bet this year then.
Oh no, don't, no bets. That's an awful thing to bet on. I mean, I understand.
We don't bet for money, but it's just our thing. Every year that we've been together, we've always done that.
Okay, a lot of people do it.
I was going to say, to be fair, it's the thing in Finland.
It is the thing, yeah. Actually, I just remembered I saw something really cool. I saw deer swimming on the weekend. White-tailed deer, about probably 10:30 on, I want to say, Friday evening. Yeah, they were just
Beer in one hoof and they'd just come out the sauna, right?
I saw one go sort of across the bay and thought, is that a deer? And then so I got the binnies out, and yes, it was a deer. And then 2 others came behind it. So yeah, they were moving island, I guess.
That's very cool.
Food is better on the other island.
I mean, other than Midsummer, we've met up quite recently and done the previous episode, so I don't think there's a lot to add in terms of things. I mean, I'm excited and slightly in trepidation of the fact I've got Tuska coming up this weekend.
Actually, I drove past the area where it's going to be and they've started setting up, so that's quite nice.
Yeah, it takes just over a week to set up and about a day and a half to take it all down.
Mind-boggling, yes. A lot of work.
I'm excited. My schedule looks pretty full, so nobody should try and contact me this weekend. It's going to be a bit crazy.
I'm sure you'll have lots of fun.
As long as it's not too hot, because standing on tarmac in 30-plus degrees heat is never fun.
True.
I've done it at Flow several years in a row, but I'm going to break with the trend of Tusca, and I think I'm going to wear white.
Okay, you'll certainly stand out.
Yes, I think I will. No studs, no black clothes, just white T-shirt and maybe a big logo for Cultural Hell on it. Actually, for the fact it'll have hell written on it, maybe that will get people interested.
Yeah, we should, yes.
Tusca is our audience.
Could be.
But yeah, so really all that's left is us to introduce the episode, which is...
Meilahti.
So, one quick thing before you listen to the episode. And I think most of us feel the same, when you think Meilahti, you think hospital.
Yep.
But we managed to visit a fair few places that did not include the hospital.
This is true, although, yes, the hospital was always on the periphery, whether it was behind us, in front of us, next to it, it's always there.
Well, except when we were on the island. You couldn't really see it so much when we were buried deep in the trees on the island.
That was about the only place, yes.
But yes, it was another place where I discovered a few things I didn't know. So, here's the episode. How you doing?
I'm very well.
Apart from the rain.
Oh, well, actually, it's not too bad. I'm appropriately attired in gumboots and a raincoat, so...
I didn't wear jeans, if you notice. When it's raining,
yes.
I don't wear jeans, because you just end up weighing twice as much.
Yeah, jeans are never good.
This is our Meilahti episode.
It is.
Heather, what is Meilahti in Swedish?
I should. Meilans.
For any English speakers, that's Medgelands.
Medgelands, yes. But the J is a Y, so Meilans, yes.
So we're in Meilahti, and when you think Meilahti, you think hospital.
Pretty much,
That's
yes.
pretty much the feeling you get from the area. However, what people probably aren't aware of is that Seurasaari is also in the area.
So when I think of Seurasaari, I think of Seurasaari as a whole, like not being anything to do with anything else.
Yeah.
Even though it is part of Meilahti.
Yeah. So we are starting on the entrance bridge to Seurasaari. Shall I do the info about Meilahti first?
Yeah, let's. How many people live here?
There are 5,218 people living here. However, this was the first time I searched through Swedish, Finnish and English, and they are all vastly different.
Oh.
Even in area.
Really?
The area is like nearly half a kilometre bigger on the English version of the page than it is on the Finnish. So I stuck with the Finnish page, because that's the one I've used for most things. So if it's inaccurate, you can actually blame the Finns.
Okay.
Population 5,218 as of the end of 2024.
Yep.
14,608 jobs as
How
of the end.
many hospital beds? Actually,
Did you do that?
I wanted to do that, but it was...
There's too many hospitals.
There's too many hospitals. It was just like, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. 3 postal codes. Do you know what they are?
I should, but I don't. Tell me.
Okay, it's 270.
Yes.
250, which is Vahan, Meilahti and Seurasaari.
Okay.
And 290 is the hospital area.
Okay. Nice.
The area is bordered by the sea to the west, Stenbackenkatu to the south, Manahamintie to the east, and the green belt that is an extension of Tilkanvietto to the north. Seurasaari is also included in Meilahti, as we already said. Known for its large hospital area, Vaha Meilahti is an old villa area, which was originally established as a summer villa area for Helsinki residents in the 1880s.
Yes.
The Swedish name for Meilahti appears in documents since the 17th century.
Wow.
And there has been a farm with that name in the area, so that's probably where the name came from.
I would guess so.
Previously, there was a village called Hindersnass on the site of Meilahti, which was last mentioned in the 1560s.
Okay, what happened to the residents of Hindersnass? Maybe they moved away.
Maybe they all got sick and built a hospital.
Maybe.
So, at the moment, we are standing at the entrance to the Iron Age village, which is Rautakautinen Kauppakula.
Yes.
So, I was really excited when I looked on the map and saw this place. I was thinking, oh, fantastic, some remnants of an Iron Age village. No.
No.
This is all being man-made to replicate an Iron Age village, which is very disappointing.
It's inspiring, but, I mean, yeah.
I was too excited about this bit, so the letdown on this was humongous. It was a real... And that reminds me what I don't like about Finland, because they go, we haven't got one of those, let's build one and tell everybody it's there, but not give them the full facts until they really delve into it. So, just a bit of information. It's a construction project of a trading place from the latter Iron Age, and it's been ongoing since 1998. Trading places are usually situated on islands, often having no buildings, but the larger ones have buildings for storage, cooking and temporary housing.
Yep.
There is nothing to show that this was ever actually a trading village, which is my point on this.
Yeah.
Something interesting, though, if either of us manage to get here, it does have an Iron Age market, which will be held on the 5th and 6th of September, so you actually get a chance to see it in action and all of that kind of thing.
Nice.
So that's first weekend in September.
Yeah.
This is disappointing, but could be interesting when there's actually an event on to see what they're doing.
And I think I've been here when there's been events, and it is like everyone's in costume and they're sort of bustling around the campsite, and it's nice in that way.
Yeah, September's one of those hit or miss weather-wise, though, isn't it?
True.
Although, to be fair, so's June today.
Yeah, at least it's warm.
Yes. Okay, Seurasaari. Did you do Seurasaari?
I did a little bit, but not very much.
Okay.
The Swedish name is Följa, which basically is foals, and maybe this was a place that they were keeping horses earlier. It was bought by the city in the late 1800s to be a recreational area. So we've got walking paths, there's a couple of beaches here. One of Helsinki's nudist beaches is here.
Yeah, I've never visited that.
I've driven past on the boat and sort of like, what's going on? Oh, that's what's going on there. Okay, let's eyes ahead. There's a nice fence so that when you're walking around the path, you don't see anything there. On the southern part or the western part of the island, we have arenas, amphitheatres, that sort of stuff. Alex's kindergarten had their summer parties here because it was a kindergarten that had branches all around Helsinki, so that we'd come here and have a nice party in the summer. There's grilling spots.
You've missed what Seurasaari is actually meant for. One of its purposes.
But that purpose came quite late.
Did it?
Yeah. So Seurasaari is part of the island is run by the museum department, and they have imported buildings from around Finland from old eras, and so they've built a village in the old style. So you've got a church, you've got a schoolhouse, there's a
bunch of old houses and things like that, isn't there?
It's really well done. In summer, the staff are in like old costumes, but you can see the old church boats, because back in the day, the church was often on the other side of the lake, so the whole family would hop into a boat and row to church. And there's actually, in Tampere, every year there is a church. Actually, is it Tampere? There's a couple of places in Finland that have church boat races in summer. Christmas time, they often have a tontu, I don't know, like a Christmas elf path, and you can walk through, and different organisations will be doing different things, so you can buy Christmassy things, and there's usually someone that's baking pulla over the coals and that sort of stuff.
And a little old lady who looks like she should be dead knitting socks, I'm sure.
There's always an old lady doing socks.
Exactly.
Always,
yeah.
Yes.
It's when the two are in the same place. That's when the fireworks really hit. So, do you know anything about the bridge? Because this is a proper wooden bridge across it.
It is a proper wooden bridge. What do you know about the bridge?
Nothing. Seurasaari was your area. I left it all for you, thinking you'd not leave your notes in Sweden.
Actually, the bridge, the entrance tells when the bridge was open, so it's actually not a...
It's made to look old.
No, it is old, but it wasn't the first thing that was constructed. It came a little bit later.
Okay. So, as we are well known for, we've come here on a day when all the museums and things are shut. It seems to be our sort of trait with recording this.
Or we're a little bit too early.
Well, yeah, that's true. But let's talk about Tamminiemi. So the villa was completed in 1904 as the home of Danish-born wholesaler Jørgen Nissen's family. It was designed by young architects Sigurd Frosterus and Gustav Strengel. The third owner, Amos Anderson, donated it to the state in 1940 as the residence of the Presidents of the Republic. Yes, Heather, you've got your hand up.
Amos Anderson, famous for having the collection.
Collection
Amos
of what?
Amos Rex.
Is that the... Oh,
Yes.
is that the...
There
right.
you go. Finland is so small. Everything interconnects.
Of course it does, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can talk about Amos Rex on another day.
Yes, well, that's a different area.
It is.
So, how many presidents have lived in that house? Is it 3, 4 or 5?
Okay, so do we count Kekkonen's different reigns as president
No.
different times?
No.
All right, so then I'm going to say 3.
Correct. Can you name them?
Okay, so the first president... Oh, there's a street named after him in Kulosaari, and it's Kekkonen, definitely. He was there for a while. Relander? Is it Relander? No. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, and you'll have to tell me because I can't remember it.
Risto Rutti, Gustav Mannerheim, and
Yes.
Urho Kekkonen.
Okay, so the first president wasn't there.
No, because although he was the one that Amos Anderson effectively wanted it to be for,
Yes.
by the time it had been renovated and everything else, he was no longer president.
Okay.
So, February 1956, Urho Kekkonen was elected president and moved into Tamminiemi with his wife Sylvie Kekkonen in October of the same year after renovations. During Kekkonen's residence, Tamminiemi served as the stage for events and negotiations related to politics. He did nearly everything there. Only large, more official events were held at the presidential palace because he wasn't a big fan of being in the city. President Kekkonen lived in Tamminiemi for 30 years, but only 25 years as president in office until 1981 when he resigned. He died in Tamminiemi on the 31st of August 1986, and just over a year later, in December 1987, it became the Urho Kekkonen Museum, and all of the furniture that he had and everything was donated by the family to remain in the building. So it is as authentic as it was when he died, basically. The chair he died in is there.
Yes. It's quite eye-opening. Some things are quite, you can see them still today in people's homes, and then other things, they are definitely products of the time.
But there will never be another serving president who serves for as long as he did.
Well, no, I mean, he did kind of bully and pressure people into voting for him.
He trumped it.
Yeah.
Effectively,
yes.
But the rules were changed soon after he stepped down,
yes,
weren't they? So now presidents can only do a maximum of 2 6-year terms.
Consecutively.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be consecutively, does it?
No.
The party's not going to put somebody up for election who's been a president, probably, but it doesn't have to be consecutive terms.
No, it doesn't have to be.
But it is a beautiful building, and they've since built the coffee shop, which is right down by the seafront, which is where originally it was just a sauna that was built for him. And the sauna's still there.
Have you been in the sauna?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's quite fantastic.
It is possibly the poshest sauna I've ever stepped into, to be fair. But it's right by the waterfront, and there are stories told when you go in the museum of how he slipped when he was fishing there, and all of the backstory's fascinating. It's well worth a visit. And how do you get in free, Heather?
Museum card, Dan.
Although it's not free, is it? Yeah. But,
With your museum card.
Yes.
The sauna is actually available for rent.
Yeah.
Something like over 100-something is triple figures, and we're talking...
$1 million!
No, not 1 million. In the thousands, I believe.
Is it that much? Right, okay.
Yeah. But hey, it's history. You're sitting on the same planks as Russian presidents and Finnish presidents and American diplomats, so... Yeah.
I bet most of them weren't naked when they were
I'm sure they weren't.
Kekkonen was letting it all hang out, but the others were keeping it well and truly in their swimming trunks.
Yes.
But it's such a calm and lovely area out here. You can understand why somebody who's got so much pressure on them as a diplomat would want to just look out over nature, can't you?
You can, absolutely.
Where are we not sitting at the moment, Heather?
We are not sitting in the Helsinki Baseball Leagues.
And why is that, Heather?
Because Heather had a technical failure. I don't know what happened, but the 4 of our recordings have just disappeared into the ether. So now we are sitting and recording again.
Slightly frustrated.
It is slightly frustrating. We hope that we get everything. At least we'll get the important stuff.
Heather's just looking at my face, I think.
Yeah, Dan's looking majorly peeved.
It's not spontaneous anymore. I like the spontaneity, you know. All right, so where we are meant to be sitting right now, and we have been sitting and had almost exactly the same discussion, but more spontaneously, is at the Good Guy Stadion, Meilahti Finnish baseball field. What can you remember that I told you when we were there?
Hey, there's an amazing, 1,800 seats. No, hang on, 1,000 seats.
You were close to the first time.
1,800.
There's 1,580.
Okay, there you go.
Of which 272 are the new covered area.
Yes, so there's over 1,000. We were sitting on the uncovered area, and I find it hard to believe that they can squeeze in 1,000 people there, but maybe if everyone's very cosy, you could.
Oh, it's easily 1,000 people.
All right,
easily.
all right.
The ground is held by Punamustat, who were established in 1941 and are on a mission to bring back the Finnish baseball culture to Helsinki. Their goal is to create the largest junior club by 2030 and for the men's team to make their way up to the Superpessis by 2027. That's the point where you said you'd heard of it.
Yes, Superpessis I've heard of. It's very scary to watch on television, I will say that. I've never seen it live. Maybe before they get to Superpessis, we should go and watch a match.
We should. The men's team currently play in the first division, which is Ukospessis, and the women's team play in the third division. And the men's team game regularly attracts between 500 and 1,000 spectators to the games, which is impressive for a sport that I don't know anyone who follows.
That's actually a decent crowd, yeah.
It's not bad for a game that I don't really understand the point of. We're in an area where there's quite a lot of other sports pitches as well. There's 5 tennis courts. There was a bunch of badminton and
paddle and squash.
Yeah.
And then 2 basketball courts.
Yes, which weren't as springy as we expected.
No, they weren't.
We can add that this time. We wouldn't have had that in the original.
True. We were looking for the bounce, but the bounce just wasn't quite there.
You're in the wrong shoes for the bounce, though.
I am, yeah. Gumboots are not great for bouncing.
No, we've decided to come out on a day that it's trying to rain constantly. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Good Guy Stadium.
Good Guy Stadium.
Which we will definitely investigate for some actual sports at some stage.
Yeah. We got to see probably a summer Pesapalo camp, I would guess.
Yeah, a bunch of sort of 10, 12-year-olds, something like that.
Running around.
Well, they weren't running. They were ambling.
They were, yes. So here we are pretending... Am I allowed to say that? Here we are pretending to stand in front of the president's official residence. So I had a heap of dates and times and numbers. Do you remember any of the dates and times of numbers that I blurted out earlier?
We're full of dates and times and numbers,
yes.
Heather.
All right. Kekkonen retired in 1981, and instead of kicking him out of the house that he was living in, Tamminiemi, he was allowed to live out the rest of his life there. So a new president's house needed to be built. So Helsinki City, or maybe the President's Department, got hold of the land in 1983. How many submissions were there for the architects' competition?
218.
203. Oh. So close. But that's a very good... I mean... Public buildings in Finland, there's always a public submission.
It's less impressive when people know I've done this once and I should have remembered it.
No, not necessarily. Like you say, we have so many dates and times and numbers that, yeah. All right. Ground wasn't broken until 1989, so it was quite a process to get the president's residence. Oh, that's hard to say. Open.
It made me smile last time. You mentioned that there's another flat slightly further over in...
Yes, Munkiniemi.
Yes. Is that where the president was living in between Kekkonen finishing and the new place being built?
So. Yes, okay. Yeah. So that's the official guest house.
It's still a house. It's not like a block of flats or something.
I know. I think it's an apartment. an apartment.
Right, so it's a bit more like an embassy kind of feel.
Yeah. And that's where all of the guests stay. All the diplomats and world leaders that come to visit and stay for at least one night will stay there.
What about if there's a big, like, K8 summit or something? Would they all stay there, or would they be dotted around?
Then I think embassies step in and
put them up in their own embassy. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
When I was researching, there is so much information about the president's house, how many square metres, how many buildings, how many little nooks and crannies, how many rooms, etc., etc., etc. But there was one number that really stood out to me, and that was the number of windows. So, individual, unique windows.
300.
Yes. How did you know?
I can't imagine. And I mentioned this a bit later last time, but living behind gated walls,
living behind a fence.
Living behind a fence. It's not the Finnish way, is it?
It's definitely not.
I mean, Finns are very open. I mean, they don't talk to each other, but they're very open. No fences.
Fences on private property is not really a thing until you get to being really high.
I mean, the British Embassy and the American Embassy are the only two that... Oh, and the Iraqi Embassy.
Yeah, they're
are the only ones I can think that are really,
fortified.
Yeah. Other than that...
Most of them you could just walk up to the front door. The Polish one has a wall from memory.
The Polish one is quite...
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But most of them you could just walk up to the front door.
Yeah, all of the ones I've never wanted to go to. And it's a rather nice garden out front as well, with the footpath so people can walk past. That's more Finnish, being able to walk almost up to the gate of...
Oh, you could walk up to the gate.
I can't say where do you think we are, Heather, because we're not.
No, we were sitting on a lovely granite bench that was looking over a bay.
It was a modern art bench.
It was a modern art bench.
But only because some bugger had come along with a paint spray can and ruined it. This is... Well, there should be a plaque here that we couldn't find. But this is where the memorial plaque to the Meilahti swimming facility is. It was the site of the 1919 open-air Humala, as it was nicknamed, seawater swimming facility that operated until the 1950s. It was a grand all-wooden sea swimming facility with diving towers and dedicated swimming lanes, which opened in 1898 but was rebuilt in 1919 and became one of the training hubs for Finland's top swimmers, including some gold medalists.
It's very cool. It's a really nice place, and it's a bit of a shame that they had to close it because of crappy water quality. Now we have Meilahti, which is the big beach that everyone goes to, and we have Alas Sea Pool where people are swimming. So has the water quality improved so that we could do it again?
Alas Sea Pool has the water separated, doesn't it?
It still uses the same seawater.
It does, but it filters it as it comes in.
Yeah.
The facility was ordered to be shut down in 1955 due to the contamination of the seawater and was completely dismantled between 58 and 59, except for all the bits of concrete foundation that we managed to not trip over.
We found heaps of remnants of the old structure,
but it does say they're still there because there was no point in removing them because they were buried deep piled into the rocks around there. But you can sense that where the space where they built the hut and the changing rooms and everything, obviously probably had a sauna in it and all the rest of it, and it's quite a big space.
It's a very big space.
But go on to the Helsinki website if you're interested in finding more. There's loads of really nice pictures of how it was back in the 30s and 40s.
I guess with people in 30s and 40s swimsuits too, which is always interesting to see the fashions of the earlier days.
Well, Finland's about 10 to 15 years behind everyone else, so you're looking at the fashions of the 20s and the 40s, aren't you?
Probably. Still, early days.
It's Marimekko yet? Are they going to have flowers on their swimsuits yet?
No Marimekko yet. Although, were they following the French style of lots of stripes? I know, who knows? Actually, while we're sitting here, we can see all the way in the distance, we've got Seurasaari, and then this other little island straight a little bit to the left is Rajasaari, which we didn't get to talk about when we did Takaturlo, but we need to because it has a really great story to it. And this lovely pavilion-looking thing is part of...
Floating pavilion?
No, there's a bridge.
What's there? Oh,
it's a
okay.
bridge.
Right.
Kesärantaa, which is our next stop.
Also, right in the distance is Espoo as well.
True. Yet another fence.
Always for important people.
For important people. So, what do you think? It says Kesärantaa on the sign. What do you think this place is?
A butcher shop. This is hard to pretend I don't know now that we're recording it for the second time. So you tell us all about it.
Okay, so this is Kesärantaa is the Prime Minister's official residence. So for some light amusement, we're standing in front of the fence and I'm trying to get Dan to tell me what it is, and Dan couldn't tell me what it was, but all the way, the tiny print at the bottom of the sign does say Prime Minister's office. So we finally figured out that, yes, Prime Minister is living there. It is the official residence of the Prime Minister and has been since, what year?
But unlike in the UK, where you'd say an official residence, which means they probably don't live there, in Finland it means they do.
They do. They have to move. Because no matter where you are in Finland, if you're the Prime Minister, then you have to move to Helsinki and live in Kesärantaa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit posher than the Prime Minister's 3-floor flat in London, isn't it?
I don't know, a 3-floor flat sounds pretty
Well,
posh to
in
me.
London it's expensive, and but still, it's a bit nicer, maybe.
Like a lot of the buildings in this area, it started out as a private residence. The architect that built it, and now his name escapes me, he lived there from 1873. One of the Finnish bank, I called him the chief cashier, so maybe the chief cashier of the Finnish bank. Also,
I thought you called him the head of cash or something last time. It was a much nicer name.
Yeah, head of cash, I don't know. He was living there for a while, and then in 1904 there was a little bit of dodgy business, and it was a bit sort of like the sale was made to the administration, but it was all done sort of behind closed doors and under the table. And
let's call it a Russian deal.
All right, maybe there was a Russian deal. And it became the summer house for the Governor-General. So this is when it was part of Imperial Russia.
And the Governor-General would have been Russian.
Yes. Then in 1917, when we became independent, the use was passed over to the Finnish administration, and it became the official summer house for the Prime Minister. Now, I'm not actually sure where the Prime Minister was living up until they started using it as an official residence. It was the summer house all the way up until 1952, and the first person to actually use it as a summer house was Prime Minister Kajanda, who came in 1922. It's a bit vague as to what the Prime Ministers were doing in the meantime.
So who was the first Prime Minister that lived there?
The first Prime Minister that lived there...
Lived there properly, Kekkonen in 1952. It was Kekkonen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So he's lived in both.
He's lived in both.
The only one that lived in both,
The only
I guess.
one that lived in both, yeah. Yes. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely location, and we think that there must be some parts of the residence that are set aside purely for the private use of the Prime Minister.
Yeah, my comment was basically, does he get to make it his own? Because you know you're going to live there for 4 years. Does he get his Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas poster on the wall or whatever?
So I think there must be some parts that are off limits to the public, because they hold cabinet meetings there and...
But they don't open
stuff.
it to the public at any
It's not
stage.
open to the public.
And
no.
is that the same with the President's residence?
President's residence, I feel that the President's residence, both in downtown and here, are opened occasionally for public use.
Right, yeah, because obviously he goes away for a month.
He goes away. So his President is in Naantali for the whole of July. So there's no reason why they can't open up the house
and make some money. But obviously the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister for 4 years and doesn't need to go anywhere. State trips, obviously. But you know, he doesn't have a summer house.
No.
Because that was the summer house.
That was the summer house.
The house.
That's the house, yes.
It looks pretty grand, and it's got a tennis court in the garden.
Yeah.
But again, fenced off. I wouldn't want to live behind a fence.
Yeah. I mean, the seaside is not fenced. There's a wall and
so
lots
you can
of signs.
swim into his
You can swim in.
backyard.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of signs saying...
We'll shoot you.
The typical signs that you see. Dan.
We are actually looking at the thing we're talking about.
Ah, yes. Okay, so we are looking at one side of the new Children's Hospital. Don't forget to put new in front of the name. How old do you have to be before they kick you out? That they won't let you come to the Children's Hospital anymore?
As a nurse or a doctor?
How about as a patient?
That's 14 or 15, isn't it?
15. So once you're 15, they move you to...
You're now an adult.
As far as the health system is concerned, you now fall under adult medicine. So why was the new hospital built?
Because the old one was knackered.
The old hospital had definitely passed its use-by date. It's a really beautiful building, and I wonder what they're going to do with it. But as a hospital, it was tired and cramped and...
I know the feeling.
A foundation was created in 2013, and the sole purpose of the foundation was to raise money to build the hospital.
I remember.
And I remember too. And the foundation, for at least a year, you couldn't do anything without running into something that was new Children's Hospital Foundation related. They raised huge amounts of money and managed to break ground and get the hospital open in 5 years, which I think is quite a record for getting the hospital up and running.
Yeah.
So the motto of the hospital is together for every child. So they approach care here as a whole picture perspective rather than like specialities that work independent of each other.
So they had to raise money to build the hospital?
Yes.
Why did it not come out of the government funds?
Oh, okay, so, hey, this is...
I know we're not getting political on this podcast, but it seems an important question.
I believe that they just didn't have the money for building a new hospital, and certainly not getting it up and running as quickly as the foundation did.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there were so many concerts and so many calls to action. They actually have a sound program which is in conjunction with Aalto University, and so every level, and you can see it actually also on the colours of the window shadings, that the colours represent different zones, and the music that they play in those zones is to be calming music and reflects the zone that you're in. So there's a C zone, and
I noticed there's no black, so there's no like Black Sabbath zone or
no
Metallica,
Black Sabbath. No heavy metal zone. No.
Disappointing.
So Alex was too old to use this hospital by the time it came around. So I've never actually. I was a bit of a regular at the previous children's hospital, but this hospital, it never stepped foot inside. How about you?
I've never been here. Okay. My kids are never sick.
Okay.
Not properly sick. Neiston Clinic, I've been in
a few times.
Twice.
Okay.
My daughter was born in Huvinka.
Okay.
My 2 sons were both born in here. Neiston Clinic, I know well. Children's Clinic, I've walked past a few times, but other than that, no.
So we're sitting in the gardens behind Neiston Clinic, and it's a sculpture garden. I actually had no idea this even existed.
From this angle, the one there looks like a beaver.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I'm seeing.
We've got the tree, or the wooden ball tree.
Ball tree.
Ball tree.
It's what it's called, isn't it?
It is what it's called. Actually, it's called wooden ball tree, but...
We don't want people to get it confused with, like, a metal ball tree. Which is probably something else he did at some stage, which is why he's called it a wooden ball tree.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. So, I brought you to another house of anti-Satan.
Anti-Satan, indeed.
Or anti-Satan.
Here comes an anti-Satan dog. All right, so this is a really interesting church because the bell tower is not actually connected to the church.
There's not in that many in Helsinki. There's quite a few like that.
Are there?
The modern style, the ones that were built a little bit later, are generally like that.
Yeah.
So this is Meilahti Church. And although plans began to build this in 1938, it wasn't completed until 1954.
Okay.
Designed by Marcus Davio. Guess how he ended up designing this church?
I feel like this is a trick question. I mean, most people, they look at this piece of land that they've got to work with and they look at the surroundings.
No. Let's go past that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean why was he selected over somebody else? Oh, yeah, okay, so his brother was the minister.
He won a competition.
Oh, he won the competition, of course. Okay, so it wasn't a rigged competition.
I feel these may be slightly flawed because I don't think it. I think most of these weren't competitions, but they were in fact winning the tender, the architectural thing. Because I think a lot when houses are built these days, lots of architects compete to.
True. Yes.
Be the designer, but anyway, let's not go into that. So, this was the first church built specifically for both Finnish and Swedish speakers.
So, do they have two separate?
No,
halls?
They have two separate services. Is what they used to have.
Okay.
It was Meilahti Church for Finnish speakers and Thomas Church for Swedish speakers.
Okay.
The statue or the sculpture on the front of the building is called the Good Samaritan, and it's by Armas Tironen, quite a well-known name.
Yes.
And the light fixtures inside the church are considered to be the best of the production of Taito in the 1950s.
Okay.
The bell tower houses a bell originally intended for the Vuborg Cathedral. Do you know where that was?
Not Vipari. Okay, so either Suomenlinna or then Vipari.
Neither. Karelia. They didn't have time to install it there before Karelia got handed over to the Russians.
Yep.
So the bell with the inscription Pro Viborgo was evacuated to Finland, and after certain turns of events was donated to this church.
Okay. Which one is it?
One of the two. I don't know which one. I don't know which one. But I just felt this church had quite a lot of history to it. It may not be the most impressive looking church because it is a brick built building. I mean, when you look at it and you think, okay, this was built by hand before there were masses of machines to do the work, then it's a bit more impressive.
True.
But in terms of churches, it's no classic from the 1500s or something like that. But it's got lots of little bits of history around it.
It does,
so
for sure.
It's very Finnish in that respect.
I'm going to say this is a real neighbourhood church because they've got lots of spaces. I mean, there's the Scouts have their meeting room here. I saw on the other side there's a family room. They have a gym. They have some sort of catering as well. So yeah, a typical neighbourhood church with all the different rooms that people can be using.
Yeah. While we're here, I also want to discuss the next place because it's going to be noisy at the next place. The next place would be Turlanduli.
Yes.
Why is it called Turlanduli?
Because that's the customs point for people arriving into Helsinki, and at that time, Turla was the point where you were arriving into Helsinki.
Yes, from the boundary between the city and the rural
municipality. Yes.
Yes. It refers to Helsinki Western Customs House, which was also known as the 5 penny Customs House.
Because that's the fee you had to pay. 5
is that
pennies.
why?
That's the fee.
I was trying to look into why it was that, and I couldn't find it. Okay,
it was
okay. So that's, I mean, there's a plaque there, but you can find that online. It's not particularly.
There's
exciting.
actually on the marker, the stone marker. I know at least outside there's a bar called 5 pennies, and outside 5 pennies bar you can see the stone marker that's the line that you cross.
Okay. Should we decide where our next episode's going to be?
Let's do that.
It's another low number. 7, which is Ullanlinna.
Ullanlinna we have not done.
We have not.
No. Very, very nice.
And very small.
And very small, yes.
But quite posh.
Very posh.
A couple of weeks' time and we'll do Ullanlinna. So that's it for this episode. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Dan.